The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Talkin Cowboys.
Streaming live from Dallas Cowboys training camp
In Oxnard, California.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Yeomans.
It's a training camp edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from Oxnard, California, and Cowboys Training Camp 2024 presented by American Airlines. We are back in the building. It is the entire crew of Talkin Cowboys for the 2024 season. We've got Isaiah Stanback back in the building, Patrik No C Walker in his triumphant return to Talkin Cowboys, and then Josh Rodriguez, J-Rod himself down at the end. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Glad you're with us. Gentlemen, we've got a lot to talk about today.
What the heck, Kyle?
What?
So you're just gonna allow us to be with the stunners on, and you're not gonna wear any today?
What's going on? No, I want to see the viewers. I want to see who I'm talking to. You just want to pull the uncle?
Kyle wants,
all the barbecue
to look deeply into his eyes so you can feel what he's saying. Right into his soul.
It's exactly right.
I respect that.
If we had a Zoom, I would ask for Beamer to just zoom in on my face right now. But we don't have that. We don't have that. We're all good. We're all good. Gentlemen, it's good to be back with you guys.
Absolutely.
I know we popped in for the last show, but this just feels right. Yeah. It feels right.
Can't get no right.
The crew is finally together. Finally.
Are we the last?
We have come back to Oxnard.
Are we the last podcast to finally get everybody on the show together? Josh, you
No,
probably know.
Girls Talk still has
Girls Talk.
they're
Okay.
doing a rotating thing this year, and they're going to have all of their people on.
Respect to them because,
Right.
I mean, it is tough. And I'm sure the viewers probably and the listeners probably agree. It's tough having like a rotating chair back and forth.
Especially with that host that we had.
Oh, stop it.
God.
You did a phenomenal job. You guys were awesome.
Coming up with stupid nicknames and everything, man. What's this guy doing?
What was the worst nickname? The Turpy Time? What was it?
Turpy Speed
Speed.
is by
Turpy Speed.
by
That's
all
what it
accounts the single
Came out of your mouth?
most horrible nickname ever created for a football player.
But the people have spoken.
Yes, the people have spoken.
The people have spoken.
And
Of your three that didn't like that name, there are
First of all-
10 times that.
First of all,
that love
it was
that
four.
name.
First of all, it was four.
I feel like this is politics. Where are these polls coming from?
I demand a recount. I demand a recount.
Standing outside of Tom Thumb, getting polls from
see
people, just one or two guys.
Hey, do you like the name Turpy Time or Speed? Turpy,
Yeah,
Speed?
yeah, and he likes it too.
No, he was just
There's
trying
video
not
evidence.
to be rude.
There's video evidence of him absolutely loving the name.
Erroneous.
Have you posted the
Erroneous.
video yet?
It was on the Cowboys app.
It's on the Cowboys app.
It was in the Cowboys
Okay.
app. We don't have it anymore. But I mean, we have it. We have it.
I can find it.
We got it.
We got it archived.
If anybody can find it,
He
he
was
can find it.
simply
throw it up.
trying not to be rude, and I respect that. Cavante Turpin, you are a gentleman and a
He
scholar.
loved it. He changed
For
his
letting
license plate.
someone in your face drag your name like that.
I love it.
Turpy.
Turpy Speed.
Not on my watch.
The
Fine,
longest
sir.
nickname of
Well,
all time.
Isaiah's the first one that coined the Turpin Time whenever it happened.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
The
that's
Turpin
solid.
Time, it was out at SoFi. It was against the Chargers. It was me and him and Bill Jones in the booth. And, I mean, of course, that was the game where Turpin had the kick return, he had the punt return, and he had both returned for a touchdown. And he was like, you've heard of what was it, Showtime in the L.A. side of things. He's like, but this is Turpin Time. And that was when it kind of popped up. And showed
Okay,
up.
yeah.
My Cash App is.
Cash App, Venmo, PayPal.
He already trademarked it.
He's still on the roster. He's got it done. He's got it done.
It's going to be a
the
big
least.
year for him, obviously, with the rule changes. So I know we got a lot to talk
that's
about,
gonna be
but
fun.
that's going to be a huge year for him.
It's a big week ahead. We've got the Cowboys on the practice field today. We've got the Rams coming to town on Thursday. Really excited about that. We'll have an extra show between now and then, so we'll get to preview that joint practice, what we're really looking for. Maybe even seeing some special teams work in that too, where both teams get to work on their kickoff return.
Yeah,
for
I'm
the first
definitely
time.
going to see that, but I'm looking forward to some scuffles. You heard about the scuffle with the Giants and the Lions yesterday.
Really?
I'm on Ross St.
It
Brown.
almost,
got into
it almost,
It was Amonra, and that was it.
yeah, I mean, but Danny Dimes, Nickel, whatever you call him, he got in there too. He got a little scuffle.
Nickel.
But listen here,
Penny Dan.
It happens every joint practice.
Penny Dan, what they call him.
every joint practice, there's going to be some kind of scuffle. The reason why, let me help the fans understand this. The time in which you do a conjoined practice, that's when your body's starting to hurt. Mm-hmm. You're tired. You're irritated. You're tired as you're starting to kind of get into the rut of training camp. And then they throw a whole new team right in front of you. You're like, you know what? Screw it. Yeah. You're going to get this work. Since I'm here and since you're here, let's go ahead and get this aggression out. Yeah. And it happens every single time. I don't think there's ever been a conjoined practice where we practice with another team where there was not a fight.
Yeah. I was talking before the last joint practice that was out here with the Rams, 2021. It was a while back, but
was that the helmet swing?
That was
Denver. Yeah,
Aaron Donald.
That was Aaron Donald and Connor Williams.
Yeah.
I was talking with somebody. I can't remember who the player was. It was a second string lineman. It might have been Connor McGovern. But at the time, I asked, I was like, "What is different about a joint practice?" And they said, "You've been hitting the same jersey. You've been hitting your teammate for so long up until this point, but now you finally see another person." And they're going to come in here and they're going to be extra physical with you. That ain't flying.
Yeah.
That's not going to fly. So it does. It changes the mentality of a practice. And Mike McCarthy was very adamant already. Yeah. He's like, we aren't going to stand for fights. If you throw a punch, you're out of the practice. You will not be practicing
Just a
anymore.
punch, though.
Just a punch.
He didn't say anything about kicks, headbutts. None of that stuff.
Jabs.
See, I know Beamer. I don't think Beamer has a mic, but Beamer, do you remember the time when we practiced against Denver some years back when I was playing? And they kept thudding up against us, and Big Flozell Adams went in there and took somebody's helmet off, and he
Beamer's
did.
Smiling.
Oh my goodness! Big Flozell Adams goes in there because they kept hitting. I think it was T. Choice or Felix Jones. Somebody they kept hitting him on the ground, and everybody was like, "Hey, chill out! We're supposed to be thudding up, which is just a pop of the shoulder pads." Yeah. And they did it again, and it was an all-out brawl. And Big Flozell Adams, all 6'7", 360 pounds of him, goes over there, snatches somebody's helmet off, and is just swinging like a doggone windmill.
Fed up.
Oh, it was done and done. It was hilarious.
I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll preview that a little bit more on Thursday.
Yeah. I'm not encouraging that.
You're not going to be here Thursday, right? For the show at 9 a.m.?
Oh.
Wait, what?
Where are you going to be on Thursday?
Isaiah, where are you going?
Where are you going to be?
We just got back together, and now you're splitting up the band again?
If you're in the studio.
It's for a great reason.
I'm supposed to be making my first appearance on Good Morning Football with NFL Network.
Wow.
So.
How about that, baby?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Level, baby.
Huge.
Well done.
Isaiah, you're
NFL Network, Good Morning Football, Thursday and Friday, right?
Friday, as of right
Mr.
now.
Big
Unless
stuff.
they make some changes. But as of right now.
So tentative.
It's tentative. It's never confirmed
It's on
until
the-
you're in
it's on
studio.
the calendar.
It's on the calendar.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm not on that calendar.
I'm not either.
So that
I'm not
means
on that.
big stuff.
Y'all
Big
help
stuff.
me. Y'all help me. Y'all my squad, man.
I
Stuff
think
is big
if we're talking Cowboys Nation, and if you're listening and you've been listening for a long time, of course, Isaiah's been on since 2020. We need to blow up social media that day, Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
We need the tags. We need the retweets. We need the quote tweets. We need all of Good Morning Football. We need the entire NFL Nation to know that Isaiah Stanback has arrived at the network level.
We got to break the internet for Isaiah
I wonder
Stanback
if
on
they're
the
going to ask
NFL
me anything
Network.
about the Cowboys. I wonder.
Oh, of course they're going to ask you something
And
about the Cowboys.
you're going to be fighting for your life.
And here's your
exactly.
practice run.
All my life I had to fight to prove my love.
Here's your practice run on what to talk about with
Absolutely.
the Cowboys.
Let's
Let's
do
start
it.
with some news and notes, Pat. We've got
let's
some
do
couple
it.
guys both in practice for the
Yes.
first time and still not in practice.
Right, we got some great news and we got some not some great news. Let's start with the great news. Trayvon Diggs, obviously cleared from the PUP list, but yesterday he was in full pads, but it wasn't just for show. He actually took some reps with both the first team and the second team. Obviously, he's on a rep count as he comes back from that torn ACL, but it was great to see him out there. He's moving well. He's getting some participation with the team. Eric Kendricks also back. He was in full pads yesterday, moving well. He missed a couple of practices with some tightness in his back. Looks like he's back ready to go. Tyler Guyton, he's battling an illness, so not great news, but being that it is an illness, he just needs to continue to buy some time, get better, hydrate, and he'll be back on the field shortly. He wasn't on the field yesterday. He's missed about 3 practices to my count with that illness. So get well soon. Tyler Guyton, we'll see him back. He was performing magnificently in first-team reps when given the opportunity. Ryan Flanoy, rookie 5th-round pick. He's been out for a couple weeks with a knee injury, but he was in full pads yesterday. Did not take team reps, but he's making strides towards getting back. Luke Schoonmaker dealing with a groin injury. We talk about how health is paramount for the former second-round pick from 2023. He's missed a couple practices. He was expected back on yesterday per Mike McCarthy. Come yesterday, he was not on the field. We'll talk to McCarthy again this morning. We'll see if Schoonmaker is going to be on the field effective today on Tuesday. Keep an eye on that. We got Israel Mukwamu. Not great news for Mukwamu. He left with a groin injury late last week in practice. He is expected to miss some time. TBD on what that time frame looks like, but as it stands, talking with Mike McCarthy on yesterday, doesn't look like Mukwamu will be on the field at all this week, which means he will likely miss the joint practice against the Rams, and you can probably count him out against the Rams in the preseason game on Sunday as well. Running backs room, Deuce Vaughn still dealing with that hamstring injury, did not return to practice on yesterday, out 3 practices to my tally, but then that running backs room takes another hit with Royce Freeman leaving yesterday's practice early on with a groin injury. So running backs room, couple of dings there, but that gives more reps to guys like obviously Ezekiel Dowdle, but Malik Davis, Snoop Connor, those kinds of guys. So
that
that's
running
what we
back
got.
room is such an interesting situation right now. I know we'll get into it a little bit here in a minute, but I want to go all the way back to Diggs. Let's go right back to the top of the injury list here, right? Mm-hmm. Whenever it comes to Diggs being back in the fold, he's not full swing yet, right, Pat? He's kind of easing back into it. Isaiah and I saw it on Training Camp Live yesterday. But he's easing back into it, getting some combo reps, which is good.
Yes.
The fact that he's even on the field whenever the offense is also on the field is a positive thing. Tell me more about what you've seen from Diggs and them kind of inching him back in the fold.
Well, first of all, let's note that Diggs looked frustrated when he was pulled after a couple of first-team reps for Nashawn Wright to be inserted in because Diggs wanted to keep going. Yep. That's a fantastic sign. That tells you that your first-team All-Pro cornerback feels great, wants as many reps as possible, but it also shows you that the Cowboys and the training staff, Jim Maurer, Brett Brown, and the coaching staff, they're not going to rush Trayvon Diggs back onto the field. Now, as far as his movements, he needs to get some rust off, but as far as looking comfortable, looks very comfortable. There are a couple of plays that he closed in very well, showed his quickness that on closing that made him such a value to the Cowboys and a franchise cornerback. So still being eased in, but mentally it looks like he's there because he wants to nom all the reps. Coaching staff is like, not so fast, my friend.
Well, he got pulled out of practice because he looked almost too good.
Yeah.
I mean, you really think about it, when we were doing the training camp live, he was doing such a good job of staying in the hip pocket of different receivers. And then when David Durden walked up to the line of scrimmage, he went up there and went to go put some Honda hands on him a little bit. And then got turned around a little bit, but he closed the gap and was able to get a PBU, pass breakup. And then after that, they were like, all right, that was a little bit too close to contact. Come on out of there.
Down a
so
little bit here.
you could tell he started getting more confidence as practice went on. And the first couple plays, he kind of just wanted to make sure his feet were underneath him, his eyes were in the right place. But then as he started gaining more confidence in his abilities to get in and out of breaks, then he started really pushing the issue. And as soon as he did that, made a good play, they're like, all right, that's enough for today.
Seen enough.
And he wasn't finishing at that level, too. Like, he wasn't finishing the rep. He was kind of taking his foot off the gas a little bit, coasting to the finish line. And then the other two guys you mentioned, Tyler Guyton, Luke Schoonmaker. Josh, when you look at those two guys, I mean, they're both young, both high-value draft picks. Schoonmaker, second round last year. Guyton, of course, first round this year.
Of course.
Who needs those reps more right now, the ones that they're missing currently, whether it's for the illness for Guyton or the injury for Schoonmaker?
100% for Guyton, but I'm actually not concerned about it at all. Like, after practice, I saw him jogging out on the field.
That's
and
good.
It doesn't seem, I mean, I don't want to speculate, but it doesn't seem like there's any actual concern there. It is genuinely an illness that he will come back from and be taking those reps. But to go back to Trayvon really, really quick, I still kind of have PTSD from Terrence Steele's injury last year, and I still have PTSD from, even Gallup's injury, and rushing him back maybe a little bit too soon, or, letting the player decide, like, all right, I'm ready to get in. I like what they're doing with Trayvon, kind of inching him back into practice. And you also want to give these cornerbacks a chance, the young cornerbacks a chance to get these reps against first-team All-Pros. And if you think about it, I mean, you're going to have Amari Cooper week 1. That's obviously you don't want to mess up against Amari Cooper. You want to have Trayvon Diggs in there. However, I don't think you see another wide receiver core intact until week 6 with Detroit. That's where I would like to see like full Trayvon in there at every snap. That's kind of, I didn't want to go backwards too much, but that's kind of how I feel about Trayvon Diggs.
You've now created an entirely new nightmare in my head of week 1 against Amari Cooper, because
it's terrifying.
Could you imagine the Cowboys fans and the way that they would take that game, me included, with Amari Cooper, if he goes for 240 and 2 touchdowns, or like at least even one something, like he goes for 127 and 2 scores, I don't want to see the reaction. I really don't.
I don't, but as great as Amari Cooper is, I mean, you're talking Megatron versus Brandon Carr type numbers. Like, let's not see that happen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that would be
can't
worse.
happen. Cannot happen.
But
I do
but if
understand.
Trayvon Diggs isn't 100%, do you feel confident that they could hold Amari Cooper to under 150 yards?
I think they have the personnel to do it. If for whatever reason Trayvon Diggs is not, and when Kyle is saying less than 100%, doesn't mean physically. He means as far as the ramp up and getting back to top
everything.
form. Getting back
if
to
he's on the
record-setting
field,
form.
he's physically 100%.
Then it just goes to adjustments. If you believe that you're going to put Trayvon Diggs on any type of snap count in week 1, then the question becomes, what are you doing with Deron Bland? Are you going to travel him with Amari Cooper? Not necessarily something Mike McCarthy likes to see done, or something that Dan Quinn, I should say more specifically, like to do. But maybe Mike Zimmer would be more open to that. If he sees Amari Cooper is really starting to get off in the first quarter, then there's no reason.
Get over there, Deron.
Yeah, there's no reason for him not to say, you know what, Deron, let's move you over here. Let's put Trayvon on wide receiver 2, and let's kind of go from there. Still allowing Jordan Lewis to do his thing. But also keep in mind, Josh makes a good point about the rookies, and I understand the PTSD. We're going to say the T stands for torn, so post-torn stress disorder.
I like that.
But when it comes to some of these rookies, the young guys, they've been stepping up. Kalen Carson. I can't sing enough praises for a guy like Kalen Carson. He's come in and really taken advantage of the opportunities with Trayvon Diggs sideline on the pup list and getting ramped up. So you could see a situation where even Kalen Carson gets thrown right into the fire, because one thing about this Cowboys team is because they know how much youth they have to deal with, they're not afraid to throw a young guy out there and say, show me what you got.
Well, look at the guys that are the veterans of the group now. Trayvon Diggs thrown out there very quickly as a second-round pick. Deron Bland thrown out there very quickly, mostly out of need, as a 5th-round pick. Both of those guys stepped up in big areas as young players in that DB room. Kalen Carson has an opportunity just like that. What have you seen from Carson so far?
He's a competitor. That's the one thing that I love about it. I mean, that's kind of an expectation when you're playing that cornerback position, to kind of be your own self-motivator and be a guy that's in there yapping and being sticky, staying in the hip pocket. But he is spewing with confidence. I mean, this dude goes out there. He's not afraid to walk up in the receiver's face. He's not afraid to put hands on him. He does a great job of getting out of his cuts and his breaks. You got to remember, as a defensive back, you're always going to, not always, but 90% of the time, you're going to be reacting to whenever the receiver breaks. So the receiver's going to break first, and then you respond. So you have that closing speed, your ability to get out your break whenever you see somebody breaking down is very important. And that's one thing that you see consistently with him out here for these training camp reps, is when guys get out of their break, he is right on their hip pocket. I mean, he is putting a hand under, he's getting pass breakups, and he's putting his little seatbelt on, because that's what he does. He loves it, and I love the energy that comes for him. So you start talking about a healthy Trayvon Diggs, you got Deron Bland, you got Jay Lou. Everybody keeps forgetting about Jay Lou.
Yeah.
Jay Lou was an absolute dude last year. Absolute dog. He showed up in a major way, not only in coverage, but especially if you go back and watch the film, he showed up in a major way in the run defense.
Yep.
Okay, as much as everybody talks about how the run defense was not where they wanted it to be, well, he's one of the reasons that it was even as good as it was, because he was willing to stick his head in there. And then you add some more depth with the young Kalen Carson and hopefully Nashawn Wright and
Eric Scott.
Those guys, hopefully E. Scott from last year. If those guys all show up, then all of a sudden you have what was not your strong suit collectively, now all of a sudden might become one of the strongest aspects of your team.
Yeah. One of the biggest re-signings of the offseason by far is Jordan Lewis. And seeing him on the field now, it solidifies that point even more. He's going to grow in this season, I feel like, especially with Mike Zimmer's defense. And to answer your question, I mean, with Luke Schoonmaker, I think the tight end room is full. I'm going to be surprised to see where the depth chart and the cuts sort of play out for the tight end room, but he needs those reps.
Yes, he does.
State your 4. Who's your 4?
Oh, God. All right, so Jake the Snake, of course.
Oh, I like Jake the Snake.
Is that another one?
Jake the, or Big Biscuit.
Did you come up with a seatbelt nickname for Carson, too? Or is that
No,
Carson,
that's for
for
Wake
Wake
Forest. That's
a Wake Forest thing. Okay. Jake the Snake, Schoonmaker, John Stevens Jr., and Brevin Spanford.
Ooh, Brevin Spanford.
Yes.
I haven't seen much from him at camp, but I've heard some things.
It's been great things.
Yeah, I just haven't, with my own 2 eyes, seen it as much.
And Hendershot is kind of on the bubble for me at the moment. But I think you can't dismiss John Stevens' run blocking ability. And
with that added size.
Have you seen him lately? Did you see
with the added
Yes.
last year to this year?
Yeah, I think it was
As a matter
13
of
pounds
fact,
of muscle.
Wrote a story on that on DallasCowboys.com. Make sure you check that out.
Boom. Click
How
on
many
it.
pounds of muscle?
It has to be 20 pounds.
He said he was up 6 over pre-draft, another 6, so 12 total pounds of lean muscle.
Yeah,
He
lean.
said he got with the nutrition staff, made sure that the mass he was adding was lean muscle because he wanted to not only get better at inline blocking, but he also wanted to get better, as if he necessarily needs it, at contested catches and getting off of the press. So he's looking to do some real damage, John Stevens Jr.
I was surprised he didn't come to me. I could have helped him out, but that's fine. He can go to the training staff.
John Stevens last year, as good of a camp as he was having, he looked like a basketball player.
Yeah, lanky.
Yeah, he looked lanky, long, looked like somebody was like, you grabbed him off the basketball court, was like, you know what, son, you have talent. Come
But
on over here
now-
to the football field, put some cleats on. This year, he looks like a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a grown man, and I was watching the individual routes yesterday. He was getting in and out of his breaks. He still has soft hands. It's just for him, it's just continue to get those reps in practice. I think these joint practices are going to be huge for him. Obviously, that's going to be his first real opportunity at getting some contact there in terms of a competitive nature against another opponent outside of your team. And, you want to see how he responds to that adversity because there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs. But ultimately, how are you going to use this mass now? You're no longer just a jump ball guy. Now, to your point, you got to put your hand in the ground. You got to be able to go move some guys off the line of scrimmage. This run game has to be solid. They've obviously changed up things on the offensive line. You have a running back by committee. You don't have just a dude back there anymore. So it doesn't matter who's back there. I had an opportunity to speak with Zach Martin, and I talked to him about the fact that a running back by committee is more of a compliment to the offensive line than anything. Because of the fact that it doesn't matter. The organization is saying it doesn't matter who we put in the backfield. You guys are still going to be successful because of what you guys are doing up front.
A couple of quick points on the tight end depth chart as well. When it comes to Brevin Spann-Ford, it's odd in that you'll see his demeanor off of the field, and huge guy by the way.
Yeah, large.
But he has like this aura of light where it's just like he's smiley, it's fun, it's like Deron Bland, right? But Brevin Spann-Ford has been one of the biggest individuals who has instigated potential scuffles.
It was him versus Kalen Carson.
Right, and that wasn't his first time.
Is it like Brock Hoffman last year?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Brevin Spann-Ford.
I don't know if it's Brock Hoffman. Brock Hoffman
Has some
Brock
dog.
Hoffman looks for that
Has some dog.
opportunity.
But what I would also say is when we're talking about the tight ends room, don't forget about Princeton Fant, because if you're talking about John Stevens Jr. and his ability to improve upon his blocking, well, that's Princeton Fant's bag, right, is blocking. And that's why Mike McCarthy, when we spoke with Mike McCarthy on yesterday or the day before, he mentioned that when it comes to a guy like Princeton Fant, his talent, his skill set doesn't really shine until the pads and the helmets come on and you do full padded practice, and that's because Princeton Fant is primarily a blocker. So that's something that the Cowboys are going to want to have in their bag as well. Will it force them to the unconventional 5 tight end carrying? We don't know, but keep in mind, practice squad, you have 3 elevations, so you have that ability, but you have to first risk them to waivers.
Princeton Fant, I'm a fan of his as well because of the fact that obviously you have Hunter Lipke, that's your fullback from last year, that's returning, and there's a great opportunity for him obviously to come back this year in that same capacity. But Princeton Fant can fulfill that role as well, and you've seen him do that in training camp. But also when you start talking about the special teams aspects, you're going to need bigger bodies that can run and hit. There's always a place for a big guy who is strong and who is fully willing to go out there and throw his body around and be effective in it.
And we talked about that towards the end of last season. We were talking about the new special teams rules where it's like you need those depth tight ends to be able to help on the new kickoff rules.
Yes, sir, you do.
Those are key roles now.
And Mike McCarthy's always said it. You can't have enough guys that are 6'3", 6'4", 225, 230, like on your football team because of that element, because of special teams, because they can play fullback, they can play tight end, they can play linebacker. I mean, think of that size. Was that your there? Isaiah played like 15 positions on the football field throughout his career because he fit that mold. So definitely guys that you can keep an eye on. We've already kind of started this conversation. I want to continue it into the second segment. When we come back, it's a big week ahead, lots to look forward to, and guys trying to stand out to try and make that 53-man roster. Mike McCarthy said he's not looking at the 53-man, but we certainly can. I've got an exercise. I'm going to make it tough on you guys to narrow it down. I'm going to make it really tough on you to try and pick your 53-man roster. When we come back, more Talkin' Cowboys from Oxnard, California, right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Life doesn't stop when the economy is uncertain. The market might not care you have a wedding to plan or a kid to put through school. And inflation doesn't know you've got a family to feed. But Bank of America does, and is here to help. With digital tools to help you save and local experts nearby, you can keep life moving forward the way you need it to. Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC, equal credit opportunity lender.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
This portion of Talkin Cowboys is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, bring out the good. How about that?
You got to pause for dramatic effect.
I did not.
Bring out the good.
Bring out the good.
Yeah. You nailed it.
Is that better? Okay.
Yes.
I'll get it better next time. Sorry, guys. First time here.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you think, Isaiah? Did you get your oats in?
I did not get my oats in, Kyle. I love my oats, as we all well know.
Always.
It's just not currently in this current diet plan for me right now. But for those out there that have not had your oats, get your doggone oats in. Nice slow release, you know what I'm saying? Slow release. You get your protein in there, but you also get your carbs. And it's gonna be slow. It's a good thing.
You did get your workout in this morning. I saw
did.
You doing some lunges.
600 yards, as a matter of fact, Kyle.
Did you get an invite to help
I did
out?
not get an invite.
Did you get an invite?
No. But he
You
knows
guys wanna work out with
he
me?
knows better
See
than
what's
to invite
happening.
me to do
You guys want
lunges.
to work out with me?
I see
Yes.
what's happening.
All right, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go tomorrow morning.
I worked out with you yesterday. Kind of.
Yeah. Well,
Not
we
really.
fell into that one.
I just walked in.
It's
and
okay. I see what's happening.
But it's okay.
He doesn't want to
I
get
saw Beamer out here.
out-repped, and
Beamer
it's
was
fine.
out here early this morning setting up shop. And he saw
Always.
me out here pumping in the sweat.
I went on the Oxnard tour this morning. I went on just a jog. I went down to the high school and back, about 3.5 miles. Not
Nice.
crazy. So
3.5
I
miles,
wish
no
my
big
back
deal.
allowed me to jog.
Dude, my feet are killing me right now because not only are you running on concrete, but then you're out here all day. You're running around. So
This is
my
killing
feet,
my back.
I've been kind of reserving my workouts for the evening, kind of like to shut down my night.
Are you gonna work out tonight?
Yeah, tonight actually. I told Josh that yesterday. No, not
No,
tonight.
not tonight.
I was
about to say.
Can't do it tonight.
That's right. There's something happening tonight. Can't work out.
Yeah,
Can't work out this
a
liver
little
tonight.
bit of something going on.
No, we can't use the gym until 7.
Yeah,
After 7,
that's what it is.
That's what it is.
But we have an event tonight. So tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
what
at
did I say?
7:30
Tomorrow
tonight,
and
we'll be back over
Thursday,
here.
back to back. Wednesday.
I got
Thursday.
mine in. I made some room. High five. Very
Same
nice.
All right.
He also didn't have to write this morning.
That's true. That's true.
that.
My
True
legs
that.
are done though.
All right. Of course, final installs coming up this week. Mike McCarthy saying these last couple practices are some of the toughest practices that they'll have throughout. I think the final install is today, right, Pat? Is
Correct.
today the
That is
final
correct.
install?
That is
So that'll be completely done, and then you get into review, renew, that kind of thing, and you go into the joint practice with your full playbook at hand, at least at the moment. So that's a good thing. Cowboys have a tough practice on hand today, but he has said that even throughout these final installs, there hasn't been an emphasis from the coaching staff on the 53-man roster. So I have an exercise for you guys. I'm going to cut it short at every position. I know this is not likely because you have to fill out 53 names. 53 names are going to be there. But every single position, I'm going to cut it short, and you have to make a decision on who gets in there, because at some point these positions will be cut short. You mentioned tight end, 4 names for tight end. It's realistic it could be 3, because they may take an extra offensive lineman. They may take an extra running back. Hunter Lipke could be technically classified in that tight end, even though I know he's a fullback. He can maybe be in that fold. So I'll start with quarterback. There are 3 quarterbacks on the roster. You got to pick 2. Where are you going with it, Josh Rodriguez?
Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush.
Okay. This one might be as easy as it's been in training camp, but tell me why.
I just don't think. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a sensitive topic with fans out there. You spend the 4th round pick on Trey Lance. I think at this point in camp on August 6th, you haven't seen enough from Trey Lance to determine whether or not he needs to be, the starter of the future. I think that's a big loaded question for Trey Lance at this point. I'm sticking with Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush.
Okay.
It's August 6th, and as we have this conversation, Cooper Rush is leagues beyond where Trey Lance needs to get. So for me, it is Dak Prescott and it's Cooper Rush. Is this to say that there's not time for Trey Lance to develop between now and roster cutdowns? Of course there is. There's 3 preseason games that still need to be played, and he's going to get a ton of those reps. But as we have this conversation, Cooper Rush, he's been the cool hand Luke the whole time. He's been unbothered, unfettered, and he looks as comfortable as he needs to. I mean, he's a guy who came in and was 4-1 in the absence of Dak Prescott. Still looks great in camp. Trey Lance really needs to put the pedal to the floor.
Agreed. And I believe that Trey Lance will have a great opportunity, obviously, in his 3 preseason games to show what he's capable of. The difference right now is Cooper Rush is fully confident in his capabilities to compete at this level. Trey Lance is not. And that's no indictment on him. It's just the fact that he just has not had that experience yet. And right now he's still hesitating. He's not anticipating. He is not fully confident in his ability to be able to deliver the ball, trust what he's seeing, all those things. It's just a little bit of hesitation. And at this level of competition, you can't have that. Now, again, to you guys made a very you guys emphasized that obviously at this particular date, because those 3 preseason games, the whole world could change around. And understand when you're a professional athlete, confidence is absolutely everything. And you can see that change literally in one single drive, where you see a whole new version of Trey Lance that we have not seen to date. I'm hoping that that's the case for him. But as of right now, it's Dak and Cooper.
There are a lot of people hoping for that, by the way.
I'll add one quick thing when it comes to Trey Lance versus Cooper Rush. Keep in mind, and I've reported this often, and I love the fact that Jalen Brooks said it yesterday as well. Brandon Cook spoke on it. Mike Zimmer's defense is disguising itself to magnitudes that even Dak Prescott may not be accustomed to at this point, and he's seen most of it all, if not at all. So when you talk about Trey Lance, add that to some of the reasons why he's struggling so far in camp, because whereas Cooper Rush has seen most of it and Dak Prescott has nearly seen it all, Trey Lance can't necessarily argue that, and Mike Zimmer has him more or less confused at the moment.
I want to put this out there before the season gets going. I was not I don't want to say I wasn't an advocate. I didn't believe there was a high probability that Dak was going to get a new contract. Now, with what I've seen in training camp from Coach Zimmer, I think that changes. And the reason why is because I don't think that you've seen the best version of Dak Prescott yet. Agreed. From the stance that you don't watch a lot of film. And I've always said that Dak struggles with a lot of disguises, and it gets him in trouble. And that was really the Achilles heel of him as a player.
We talked about it on this show quite a bit.
The things that he is seeing in practice every single day is addressing and continually working on his Achilles heel. So if he's getting that work on what he, quote-unquote, lacks at in practice every day, what are you going to see from him when he steps on the field against other opponents? Mike Zimmer might be more of a pickup for Dak Prescott more than it might even be for his defense.
That's a great point.
Birdman hand road.
I like it. I really do. And I've said that before. This defense in this scheme does not only benefit the defensive backs and the way that they are able to disguise and able to move around, and it helps the pressure up front. It helps Dak Prescott in what he's seeing and what he's able to read. And if he's looking good out here, which he has, I think you could argue he's probably a top 5 player at camp so far, maybe top 3.
Just throwing darts. It's insane.
He's been absolutely
really insane.
On point. If he can continue that against a defense like this in the games, it might be a whole different story.
That touchdown, was it Tolbert yesterday?
Yes. That was incredible. All right, I'm going to go back and forth, offense and defense. Let's go linebackers. The linebackers have been fun to watch. How many do you think I'm going to give you here?
5.
I'm giving you 4.
You're a jerk.
I'm making it really hard. Give me 4 linebackers, dog.
You're a madman.
I am. I'm a madman.
Okay.
Give me 4 linebackers.
Jump it off, Josh.
Oh, man. I need a second.
Okay, I'm going to go Eric Kendricks.
Okay.
Damone Clark, DeMarvion Overshown, and
Micah Parsons.
No, Micah
we're
doesn't
not
count. Micah doesn't count. He's
Come
defensive line.
on!
I know he'll play both.
I like what I'm seeing from some of the younger guys. Buddy Johnson, undrafted guy like Jason Johnson. But Willie Harvey Jr.
Yes.
is out here showing his backside, right? So, let me take Willie Harvey Jr., not in this order, obviously. Willie Harvey Jr., Eric Kendricks, Damone Clark, and DeMarvion Overshown is mouthful.
Okay. I'm going to go Eric Kendricks, of course, DeMarvion Overshown, of course, Damone Clark, of course, and then Maris Leufau.
Okay.
That's mine.
Rookie.
Yeah.
about
No, you can't.
No, you're done. You're done.
Sir.
You're done.
Back, no
You only get
freaking
4
take back,
names.
sir.
Who'd you say? You say Damien?
I said, well, no.
No,
I
you
didn't
said
say
Willie
I said
Harvey.
Willie. Okay.
My name is
Swap out.
Willie.
I
Willie
can't.
No,
If it was 5,
No,
you
no,
keep
no,
yours.
no.
You keep yours.
Don't backpedal.
The draft has
I
happened.
have to because I can't
No.
take the rookie 3rd round pick out of the equation, even though I love what Willie Harvey's doing. It's a rookie 3rd round pick.
If you had 5,
So 5, then it's Harvey
Willie Harvey.
and Marist.
would it be Willie Harvey
Yeah,
and
yes.
Maris?
Harvey gets
Would
yes.
it be Willie Harvey and
Yeah,
Maris,
yeah,
or would it
yeah.
be different?
I like
Thank
what
you.
I
Yeah.
love what Willie Harvey is doing, but in terms of what the rotation has been Damian Wilson.
Okay.
So
Damien's outside of, and I'm doing a story for the countdown to kickoff for, and it's on Eric Kendricks. Eric Kendricks has more tackles for loss, and sacks than the entire rest of the linebacking core combined.
Wow.
And
Well, you got a
combined.
young
And
linebacking
Damian
group.
Wilson is the only one that it's even remotely close, because Damian Wilson's played 9 seasons in the NFL before, so he's been around.
And
for a
Kendricks
little
looks fantastic out there. But so we're clear. I'm changing mine. Okay, Harvey is my.
It's copying
fifth.
mine,
Harvey
but
is
okay.
my 5th. It's not copying yours.
a little white out.
But see, I haven't had breakfast yet. I didn't have my oats yet. Okay,
Gotta have your
so love what Leofau is showing. Also, he's getting some burn with the first teamers. He's getting comfortable. He's playing fast now, and as he learns Zimmer's system, so absolutely, it's Kendricks, it's Damone Clark, it's Overshown, and it's Leofau, and Harvey is 5. If I can get 5, Kyle will give me 5 though.
I want to emphasize something really quick about Maris Leufau. The speed of Maris Leufau. He's getting from sideline to sideline in blazing speed. He might be a new Turvy speed. You know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of on that level.
Mary
Not
Speed
when it
Speed?
comes
Mary
to the
Speed
nickname,
Speed.
no, absolutely not.
Possibly.
Absolutely not.
In talking with Eric Kendricks yesterday, he had very high words on it, and he said that he fits perfectly as a Mike Zimmer guy. He said he's a Mike Zimmer prototype because he can rush, he can blitz, he can read and react and then go. He can shoot the A-gap, B-gap, whatever he can do. I mean, it all adds into what Zimmer wants out of the linebacker.
He
so
has
it's going
one
to be really
speed.
excited.
And cerebral.
Yeah, very
his
smart guy.
football IQ is insanely high.
and I love his energy.
Yeah.
I don't want to put too many expectations on this guy, but doesn't he
late.
kind of look like build-wise and
Say
speed-wise?
it.
Doesn't he look like Fred Warner a little bit?
Oh, you went all the way to Fred. I was going to stop at Sean.
I
And
can see Sean.
Yeah, and
with
I've
the
said
football IQ.
Yeah, and
side
I've
of
said
things.
Sean with the football
Definitely
IQ.
doesn't look like Sean.
No.
but-
Sean is more stout.
Yeah, more stout.
Yeah, that's the
But
difference.
football IQ wise, he's right there. With
The
us.
speed
the
for me.
speed is phenomenal. Yeah, the speed is good.
So not
you're
quite
really
there yet. Not quite there yet. And I don't want to put those expectations on him or anything like that. But like similar looks, in my opinion.
especially if he bulks up and he grows into the frame.
Right.
It could be completely.
I don't want to put too much pressure on the young guy, but future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's
Pay close
not my
attention to
intention.
the
But
energy
He
like
looks
just
very good in his rookie camp.
Absolutely.
Very
Absolutely.
close to the
Qualified.
qualified at that second level.
All right, let's go with 3 running backs here. And I'm going to put Hunter Lipke in the running back category.
Okay.
In the running back category, Hunter Lipke. 3 tailbacks is all you get.
All you get is 3.
All you get is 3.
I mean Zeke,
Yeah.
of course, Rico and Hunter Lipke.
Okay.
Same. It's same.
Okay. Same.
I expected more of a battle here.
Well, so
I'm not going with
the
that,
thing
actually.
is for me is that if we are putting Hunter Lipke in the running back category, then you have to know he's going to make the team. And as it stands on August 6th, the battle for who gets the most carries at 1 is between Rico and Zeke. We talked about at the top of the show, news and notes. Deuce Vaughn is dealing with a hamstring injury. He's missed several practices, right? Royce Freeman, we don't know if he's going to miss time with the groin injury. So just the battle of attrition health-wise is starting to happen before the first preseason game even happens. So the question is then, do you think Snoop Connor and or Malik Davis overcomes any of those three? I don't necessarily see that.
My three is Hunter Lipke, Rico, and Freeman.
You just cut Zeke?
Why? I have no doubt that Zeke has the capabilities of playing, but I don't sense the same passion.
Okay. Interesting.
I just don't. I don't sense the passion. Again, that's objective.
Is it because it's practice, maybe?
Nope. That's subjective, obviously. That's my opinion. I just don't sense the – I don't get the vibe that he's as passionate about the game as he once was.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with whether he can or cannot produce. I just don't get that sense.
Were you evaluating him on the day he got hit in the special parts? Because that would take your passion real fast.
I don't think we were out here yet.
That would take your passion real fast.
That's just where I'm at with it. I mean, I think he's fully capable of going out there and continue to produce, and obviously in a joint role with the other guys, but I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. The Freeman injury does affect that in a major way.
I think more than likely you're going to have 4 guys. You'll probably have 3
so
running
why'd you
backs.
give us 3?
You'll have
he's a jerk. So why'd you give us 3?
Because I'm trying to make it hard on you guys. I'm trying to have conversations like this. And I give credit to Isaiah for at least getting out there with it. All right, defensive line, I'm giving you 8. This is the last one we'll do, and then we got to take our last break. 8. So
Rodriguez.
Oh, man, you keep starting me over again. Marshawn Nealon, DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons.
I think we can all agree on those 3.
Osa. Mozzie.
Okay.
How many more do I have?
Yeah, 3 more.
3. Let's see. This is tough, man. This is really tough.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
This Darrell is Johnson. When we're all together.
Darrell Johnson.
Wow. Okay.
Darrell Johnson.
I like that.
Is that a spicy take?
That's spicy. That's
it's spicy, but I like it. He's had a good camp.
I like that.
Denzel Daxon.
Whoa, that's real spicy.
And I really can't.
We're getting like
that last one
5 on the
that last one. Tyrus Wheat.
Okay. Okay.
Good special teams guy last year.
He was. He really was.
And so was Johnson too. Darrell Johnson.
As far as depth goes, Tyrus Wheat.
You said 8 total, right?
8 total.
Micah. Okay. Chauncey. Osa. Marshawn. Mozzie. D-Law.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm at Aquadine Muhammad.
Okay.
Off to a strong
and big Justin Rogers.
Another defensive tackle.
Okay. I would have put him over.
That.
I like that. Because I predicted earlier this offseason that Justin Rogers would make the team. So I'm going Tank, Mozzie, Osa, Micah, Justin Rogers, Chauncey Golston, Marshawn Nealon, and I'm cheating because Daxon gets an IPP exemption. So, all right. Yeah, roster management.
Nice.
Roster management. I'm going to go Tyrus Wheat.
That would be my 8.
I'm going to go Tyrus Wheat.
That would be my exact 8 right there. All right, let's take our final break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the most impressive position groups on the field so far at training camp. We'll give you our top 3 when we come back. More Talking Cowboys right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time. But what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's Coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
This segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome back into Talkin' Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. Isaiah Stanback, Patrik "No-See" Walker, Josh Rodriguez. I'm Kyle Yeomans. The crew is back together. Again, we'll be back on Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central Time on DallasCowboys.com and the Cowboys streaming channels. If you are with us, we will not have Isaiah Stanback that day because he will be on Good Morning Football live on the NFL Network. Good thing is, that comes on before Talkin' Cowboys. So you can watch Isaiah and then watch Talkin' Cowboys. We'll have a complete review of Isaiah's performance
Complete recap.
that day.
We're going to break it down like film.
Dude, for real. Oh, no, we're going to wake up. I'll be
We're going to get Kyle the telestrator and everything.
Ooh, yeah. Chris is already shipping the telestrator out here. We'll have it in the back. It'll be phenomenal.
Conference calling Jerry Madelon.
Ooh, I would love that, actually. That would be hilarious. I'm going to see if we can make that happen. We've got calls here, right? I mean, storyline's still a thing.
Yeah, we do.
We've got calls out here. I'm gonna text GMAT right now. On Thursday?
Yeah.
He's here?
I think so.
Oh, dude. That's next level.
We get him sitting right here.
I think he might be.
And we just
Jerry Madelon. We're gonna have Jerry Madelon, our talent coach, by the way. For those who might not know, he's a big mentor of Isaiah's. I want him to come on and I want him to give an honest review of Isaiah's performance.
Posture.
Talent coach to the stars. All right, Jerry. Just wait. You're going to be on Talkin' Cowboys Thursday. All right, top 3 position groups that have impressed you so far in training camp. We got to be quick and get out of here. I'll start with you, Isaiah. Top 3 position groups.
Corner.
Okay.
Defensive line.
Are you throwing edge and D tackle in there, or more like edge?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I think the receiver group has showed up.
Okay.
I think the receiver group has showed up. Tyron Billy Johnson has done a really good job. He's shown up. Cropper has shown up. Brooks is continuing to show up. I'm not sure how that'll pan out. I want to see more of Turp.
Okay. I like it.
I'm going wide receiver group. Not in any particular order, by the way. Wide receiver group, talk about Tyron Billy Johnson, Jalen Cropper, Jalen Brooks, Jalen Tolbert, taking advantage of CeeDee Lamb working through his contract. Cornerbacks, in the absence of Trayvon Diggs, Trayvon obviously back now, but Kalen Carson taking those strides. Jordan Lewis is still out there being an absolute gamer, DeRon Bland. But I cannot say enough about this linebacker.
Yeah.
Yes. Linebackers. They went from being completely deficient, absent Damone Clark as far as true linebackers, to just spilling over the brim of the cup with talent.
The cup runneth over?
Right, the cup absolutely runneth over.
So, and discipline, too.
Yeah, linebackers are they're playing quick, they're playing fast, they're playing instinctual. And when you talk about run defense, they have been sensational in stopping the run and filling those lanes and filling those gaps. And for me, linebackers is just they're showing out.
I got to go offensive line, particularly the center position. There's a kind of a battle there that we've talked about a couple of times with Brock Hoffman and Cooper Beebe and determining what that actually looks like.
Brock the right way. It's Brock Hoffman. There you go.
That's
such a sick name to do that with.
Yeah, who do you think wins that competition?
Week 1, it's Brock Hoffman.
Yeah.
Brock Hoffman.
I agree.
It's a surprise to everybody that hasn't been watching training camp basically. And then I also have to go linebackers. Of course, we talked about it. Like I said, the speed of Maris Luafau is just incredible. And then also I have to give a shout out to the wide receiving core. Again, we talked about it, but the biggest surprise for me was Tyron Billy Johnson. He was undrafted in 2019. He has been with, let me just say this real quick, the Texans, the Bills, the Texans, the Chargers, the Panthers, the Jags, the Raiders, the Texans, the Bengals, and the Niners. He is playing here like he's going to stay. I am really looking forward to seeing the rest of his camp and seeing him in the preseason games, because that's when it actually counts. That's when it matters, and that's how you make the team, especially when you're a guy like Tyron Billy Johnson, really showing out. And I feel like he's had inconsistent days where he shines, but when he does shine, he shines bright.
I agree completely. I think if anybody's stock has risen the most throughout training camp, it's Tyron Billy Johnson. He was a guy who was maybe a fringe roster player, not even roster player, fringe practice squad player at some point, probably right around that 80 mark on the roster. And now he's taking snaps with the ones.
Yes.
He's going out there. And I know CD's not here. I know they're holding Brandon Cooks out. But he's still in there with Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin, and it's Tyron Billy Johnson. That is a huge, huge jump in a short amount of time. And he's earned the respect of guys like Mike McCarthy as the play caller. He's earned the respect of Schottenheimer as the offense coordinator. And he's certainly earned the respect, and he talked about it on the stage. Dak Prescott has seen what Tyron Billy Johnson is doing. That's a great point.
And I'll say this, because this also speaks to Tyron Billy Johnson's mindset. I had an off-the-cuff conversation with him a few days ago, and this is one of the several fantastic quotes that stuck out. Quote, "I want to reintroduce myself and earn the coach's trust, and that's the biggest thing for me. I don't want to be a superstar practice guy. I want to do it on Sundays."
Let's go.
I love that.
Billy White Shoes, if you will. Shout out to Big Nate.
Billy White Shoes. Is that a nickname?
That's Big Nate gave him that nickname. I like that one.
Yeah, they are.
That one has finesse, unlike the other thing.
Billy White Shoes. All right, that does it for us here on Talking Cowboys. Hope you had some fun with us here over the last 50 minutes or so. We will be back on Thursday. Again, tune in. Isaiah Stanback, Good Morning Football that morning, and then tune in to us that day as well. For Isaiah Stanback, Patrik No-C Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We'll see you on Thursday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!